Hey everyone, this is an '08 GMC Sierra truck. Now it has the engine oil pressure code, the P0521, and also on the dash whenever it's running, the oil pressure is either not coming up or it's kind of erratic. We're going to be replacing that sensor and getting this issue fixed. Okay, so whenever you pop the hood, the oil pressure sensor is setting to the back of the engine back there. You're going to need to take this cover off. But I'm going to show you right here. This is the AC Delco part number right there, and this is the sensor right here. Now the socket that I'm going to be using is this one right here. It's a multi-size socket, fits 1 and then 1 16, and you can see what it looks like right there, and it fits perfectly over the sensor just like that. Pull up on this cover right here, pull it straight up, and then pull this out. Now if you look right back there, you can actually see the sensor. I don't know if I can get the light back there or not, but if you look right down in that hole, I know it's kind of hard to see, but you know, right, okay, at the tip of my finger right there underneath this little cover back here that you see, right back there in the dark is the sensor. So you need to reach back behind there and get it out. Let me see if I can zoom out. You can see right there, you know, you get a couple of your lines, your fuel line and stuff. So I'm just going to stick my hand back behind it, put the socket down in there. First take off electrical connector, get that socket on there. Yeah, and I dropped my shop light this morning, so you know, my handheld light that I normally use, so I'm using this you know, overhead style light, 4 light. Hopefully you'll be able to see it all, but I didn't have any other bulbs and I don't have time to run and get another, you know, drop light, so we're just doing what we gotta do. So I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to reach my hand right back like this. Sensor's right there. I mean, you pretty much got to do it by hand without looking at it. And pull that electrical plug up. And now I'm ready to get that socket back there. Okay, so first I'm going to stick my socket down in there, and I've already taken the electrical off. You can see I've got my hand down there. Like I said, I'm doing this all by feel only. Got the socket on there. Now I'm going to use an extension like this. It's almost like 2 short ones out. I think it's, you know, right around 6 inches long or so. So I'll stick it, get it right on top of the sensor, and it comes up to about right here. Then I'm going to use a little ratchet like this and stick it right behind there. You know, and get the head to turn until I find it. Then I'm going to turn the ratchet until I get it loose enough to feel like I can do it by hand. It feels pretty loose right there. So let me get my other hand out there, try to pop this off. Try to turn a little bit more by hand. Let me go ahead and pull my socket out. So I got my socket right there. And I'm going to go ahead and reach back there, spin it out the rest of the way with my hand. And there you go. That's the oil pressure sending unit. And I've got the new one right here. It already has thread sealant on there right out of the package. Now if you want to check to make sure that your gauge is working properly, then take your connector that's going to the oil pressure gauge and pull it up right here between those 2 lines and look for the gray and the white wires on there. There should be 3 wires. The 3rd one should be black. So look for the gray and the white and jumper those together. Whenever you jump them together, go to your dash and turn on your ignition. Now whenever you turn on your ignition and you have those 2 jumped, then you should see the oil pressure gauge go all the way up. That means your oil pressure gauge is good and reading properly. Now sometimes you have the little screen that's inside that gets stopped up. So if you look down in the hole where the oil pressure sending unit, then down in there, there's a little screen that sits on there. It's really hard to see from here, and you really can't see it much, but you can get a pick down in there, reach back there, get that pick, and get that screen out. Now, if you're going to try to get that screen out, you need to get a little pick like this. Now, most picks, you can cut the end off so the sharp end isn't there, and then kind of curl it back so that it's kind of shaped like that, because you got to get down in that hole and grab a hold of that screen and pull it up. Now here I'm attempting to show you how to get the screen out. I know it's really hard to see and it's probably blurry, but you can see that I've got the pick down here. I'm going to go down in the hole, and then I'm going to pick up on the filter just like that, and then I'm going to have my finger down here and pull it out. Now, just to show you that, so I'm going to pull the camera out and show you here's the screen. Now you can see there's quite a bit of debris on that screen, and you can also see that I did not damage the screen at all. I just barely grabbed it and pulled it up. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the screen and hopefully save it without having to replace it, but you can always just go buy the part and replace it. You can see that's pretty dirty on there. So here you see where I've cleaned the screen. There's no holes in it, and it's clean. I mean, it would be cleaner if I bought a new one, but I'm going to go ahead and stick it back in the hole like this. You can clearly see through it, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it back in there and see if the oil pressure does get restored. So whenever you go to put the filter back in, then just turn your hand around there and slide it right in just like that. And then go ahead and get your oil pressure switch back in the hole. Tighten it up right on top of it. Okay, so I got it started, got the thread started. I'm going to keep spinning it. I mean, it requires a little bit of patience, but it's really not that bad. Okay, so I got it down as far as I could with my fingers. I'm going to go ahead and put the socket back down in there, slide it on top of the sensor. Then I'm going to get my extension, put it on top of the sensor. Then I'm going to get my ratchet, get it going in the right direction, spin it into place. Now the new sensor, they go all the way down until they get flush with the base, so you don't think that you're over tightening it. Just keep going until you feel it kind of stiffen up on you. With a new thread on it, might take a little bit longer for you to twist it down. Alright, so now I feel it feels like it's kind of getting close to the bottom, and there. I believe that's it. Yep, it feels like it's flat with the bottom. Go ahead and remove the whole assembly. Get my electrical connector on there. And I'm all done. Alright, so now we're going to bring the camera back. Get my camera mount out of there. Get the cover back on it. Slide that back into place. There's just some little hooks back there that the thing hooks to. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and mention that my extension I was using does have a slight swivel on the end of it. Now, it doesn't make a lot of difference, but it is enough to make it definitely easier, so that whenever I put it on the end here, it definitely kind of bobbles on the end of it like that. So now we'll see what happens whenever I start it back up. Whenever we first got this vehicle in, it was only at about 4 or 5 pounds of pressure. Let's go ahead and start it. Just started it, and you can see the oil pressure gauge come back up. And then if you look down at the scanner right here, you can see the oil pressure sensor is now reading 23. And let's see what happens whenever you step on the gas a little bit. Yep, you can definitely see that the oil pressure is coming up. So some of the junk that had covered up the screen on the oil pressure sending unit probably was able to bypass the screen a little bit and clogged up the oil pressure switch, so it probably wasn't reading absolutely right. So both of them combined fixed the issue, and now there's restored oil pressure. So that's how you change out your oil pressure, or see if you can restore it, you know, with that screen. But other than that, thanks for watching my video today. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for me, like it, share it, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Keep in mind that your vehicle might be a little bit different, so the process of changing it out could be different, and you could have other issues. But other than that, stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching again.